Shall we start, sir?
Fine, you can start. No issue.
Good afternoon, dear participants. Thank you for joining this webinar on implications of US tariff on Indian exports at a very short notice. As you are aware, on April 2nd, 2025, President Donald J. Trump declared a national and signed an order under International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Effective changes are April 3rd, a 25% tariff applies to imported cars, SUVs, minivans, cargo vans, light trucks. April 4th, 2025, a 25% tariff on beer and empty aluminum cans based on aluminum content. April 5th, 2025, a universal 10% tariff will apply to all imports from all countries. April 9th, 2025, countries with the largest trade deficit with the US will face higher reciprocal tariffs tailored to reflect the imbalance. May 2nd, 2025, the de minimis exemption, which currently allows imports valued at under $800 to enter duty-free, will be eliminated, starting with packages from China and Hong Kong and eventually expanded to other countries. So according to the Trump administration, the US has run a 1.2 trillion goods trade deficit, and they have lost around 5 million manufacturing jobs. US MCA compliant goods from Canada and Mexico remain tariff-free. And we have with us today Dr. Ajay Sahai, DG and CEO of FIEO, who is a leading expert on matters of international trade. He has also been confirmed with Rajiv Gandhi Excellent Award for Best Achiever in Export Promotion. He is an expert on GST, helping the government to streamline the same so as to make it exporter friendly. And his work has been recognized across the board and even on international fora. We believe Mr. Ravikant Kapoor, Vice President FIEO, has also joined. Welcome, sir. And without much ado, I would like to now invite Dr. Ajay Sahai, sir, for your presentation and your brief overview on the implications, sir.
Thank you, Srinath. Let me first welcome all the members who are joining this webinar. I would also like to welcome my newly elected Vice President, Mr. Ravikant Kapoor, who is also joining this interaction. In fact, you all know that US is the largest trading partner. They are the largest trading partner of the goods. They are the largest trading partner of goods and services together. We have already clocked over $200 billion of bilateral trade with the US. When the Prime Minister met the US President in his last visit in the month of March, we talked about Mission 500, where we are looking towards taking the bilateral trade to $500 billion by 2030. We also discussed about the BTA, and the two leadership decided that we will concluding the bilateral trade agreement by the fall of 2025, that means by September, October 2025. Mr. Trump, in his earlier era, also has talked about high tariff of India and recently called India the tariff king. He also expressed his disappointment over the rising trade deficit with many countries, including India. Unfortunately, between his last tenure and this tenure, the trade deficit has increased because India is exporting a lot of value-added product to exports. We also wanted to put US on our side, and therefore in the union budget also, we looked into reducing tariff on number of products of the US interest that include satellite components, motor vehicle, also included fish meal, and recently only we have reduced the tariff on the bourbon whiskey also. But probably we are dealing with a leadership which is not much believe in the relationship. They are rather transactional in nature, and therefore probably we are facing a situation where he has put a high tariff on India. What does the tariff mean? How it applies? What will be the implication? Which are the sectors which are likely to gain? Which are the sectors which may be impacted on that? For that, I would just like to have a brief presentation, and thereafter we will be open the floor, because we have received a lot of call and email where members express their desire to have the clarification on the issue. Next one. Next.
Sir, I hope it is moving. I'm on slide number 3.
No, it's move to the second one.
Okay, sir.
It's not moving.
Yes, sir. I will reshare.
Just a minute. Let me change from here. Let me see.
Remember, restart
Slide
again.
number
Just
2.
come back. So if you look into India's exports and US to export to US and import from the US, it's definitely growing. We have moved export from $41.8 billion to $87.4 billion in last calendar year. So we have doubled our exports of goods. Also, if you are looking into export of import of goods, it's also more or less doubled from $21.8 billion. We have moved to $41.8 billion. But the trade surplus, which was at $20 billion in 2030, has moved to $45.6 billion in the goods only. If I am taking the services, it has already crossed the 50 billion mark. In the services also, the growth has been pretty good, both on the export side and import side. In fact, on the import side, if you look into the numbers, we have imported much more at a faster pace as compared to our export, though we know that IT and IT-enabled services are largely dependent on US and EU market. Next one. Next. Now, if you look into what we are exporting, I have data up to 2023. The recent data has to be updated. The main item of our export interests are gems and jewelry, electrical machinery, pharmaceuticals, petroleum machinery, article of iron and steel, made-ups, auto components, organic chemicals. These are the sectors where our exports are growing. And in some of the sector, for example, if you're looking into electrical and electronic, the compound annual growth rate in the last 5 years has touched 44%. For petroleum, it is growing. It is 39%. For iron and steel, it is 20%. And organic chemical, the CAGR is 10%. And in fact, in number of the sector, US is our very important market. 1/3 of roughly gems and jewelry, 1/3 of the electrical machine, electronics and pharma goes to the US. 50% of India's made-ups of textiles goes to the US. That shows the importance of the market from export perspective. Next one. The other products are, of course, the apparel sector, where we are exporting close to around $4 billion to the US. Marine is also an important sector, where, except for the recent year when we are subject to anti-dumping and countervailing duty, we have lost the market. There has been little decline in export growth also. And for plastics, miscellaneous chemicals and furniture, the market is growing. We are clocking double-digit compound annual growth rate in respect of all these items. In carpet, there has been little slow market, but that has a lot to do with the consumption in the US. Probably the youngster one are not looking into much demand for a product which has a long longevity. They are looking at something which they can use and throw. That also affected the carpet market. Medical and surgical equipment is a growing market for us. We are also importing a lot of medical and surgical equipment also. Footwear is also growing market in the US, and probably in times to come, we'll see much export of these products to happen. Next one. Now, if you look into the import side, import is dominated by energy import, and it is good that India's energy import from the US is growing. If you look into the import numbers for the month of February and March, in the month of March, we have seen around 60% growth in import of crude and petroleum and shale gas from the US. In fact, the more we import from the US will help us to reduce the trade deficit or trade surplus also with the US, which is a key concern for that. We are also importing a lot of semi-precious stones from the US. Machinery, appliances are growing. Plastic import from the US is going. Iron and steel of late has picked up. The growth rate of our iron and steel import is around 29%. And if we can look into the requirement of iron and steel, and if we can fulfill from the US, that will also something good to help us to bridge the, reduce the trade surplus. Next one. The other item of interest for India is aluminum. Edible fruits and nuts are also growing. We are seeing that at least in the larger cities, a lot of apples from the US as well as almond and pistachios are coming. This is something where US is also looking into tariff reduction, at least for the US for these products. Tanning and dyeing materials are also little bit of improving, growing at around 40% plus growth rate. Aircraft is a new area where we are seeing much import happening, and since Indian aviation sector is growing, we expect that this will be an area which will help us to reduce the trade surplus. We will be importing much more aircraft. Both Indigo as well as Air India has put an order for a lot of aircraft which will be supplied over the next 5 years or so. Next one. Now, let us come to the reciprocal tariff. Though a lot of talks have been the reciprocal tariff is basically matching of tariff country by country. So if on a product A, India is charging X tariff, the other country will also be charging X tariff. In fact, when the US president was announcing, he referred to the high tariff in India. He also referred to the non-market factor, the non-tariff barrier, which has led to such tariff escalation. But if you look into the formula which has been adopted, it has no element referring to the tariff. All that has been done is to look into the trade surplus of the country with the US, divide with the import which US is making from that country. Based on the formula, this reciprocal tariff has been announced, though on paper they say they have factored the high tariff, look into the non-tariff barrier, look into the non-tariff market factors also, and converted them to arrive the figure. For example, for 2024, if you look into India's trade surplus with the US on the merchandise side, it was 45.6%. India's export to US was 87.4%. So once you divide 45.6 by 87.4%, you get 52.2%. That's why for India, he said that tariff will be 52, but as of now, he is applying only 50% of the tariff. So he has corrected it to 26. There is a lot of confusion with regard to 26 or 27 because in the annexure one yesterday, US has put 27% as number, but today they have corrected it. So finally for India, the tariff, additional tariff, the reciprocal tariff will be at 26%. Same they have applied for EU. EU is having a surplus of $235.6 billion with the US. EU export to US is $605.8 billion, which translate into 39%. So on EU, 50% of that, which should be 19.5, they have put up a tariff of 20%. Look into the China. China's surplus with the US in 2024 was $291.9 billion. China's export to US was $433.8 billion, which translate into 67.3%. And that's why 50% of that, 34% has been applied as a tariff. So the formula which has been adopted is a very clear-cut mathematical formula. Look into the trade surplus of the country divided by their total export to the country to look into how much should be the reciprocal tariff. This is the reason why a country like Vietnam, which is having very less tariff, has been subjected to a very high reciprocal tariff because their surplus with the US has already crossed $100 billion plus with an export base of little low. So with that, probably Vietnam will have major challenges when they negotiate with the US because they have not much to offer on the tariff side. That's why we are also of the view that it is not just the issue of tariff, giving US the tariff concession, but how you convince the US that you are going to import more from the US so that you bridge the trade, reduce the trade surplus or bridge the trade deficit with the US. That's a key question. He, like a businessman, will like to have more export from the US so that once the US export goes up, the trade surplus is reduced or trade surplus is converted into a trade deficit. Now, when you look into the country-wise reciprocal tariff, for many of our neighbors, the tariffs are pretty high. India is having 26% tariff, Bangladesh 37% tariff, Cambodia 49% tariff. China is subject to very high tariff. China was already having 20% tariff, now 34% more has been added. So it becomes 54%. Roughly on 70% of the total tariff line, China is also carrying 25% pass duty. That's why China is saying that the weighted average tariff on China is now around 65%. On some of the product, they will have 54% tariff. On some of the product, they will have now close to 79% tariff. Now, China's 79% tariff vis-a-vis India 26% tariff will provide more opportunity to India. In fact, from the FIEO, we did a study when China was subjected to 20% tariff and India was not having tariff. we looked into 175 tariff line at the 6-digit level, which contribute to $1.2 trillion of US import, where China's export of those products was $225 billion. India's export was $42.7 billion. And in all these segments, we are looking into diversion of business from China to India. We are looking into massive diversion, but massive diversion will take place only if we have the capacity to look into that opportunity which will come into way. We will be discussing it little later. Next one. Now, if you look into Indonesia, which is also a competitor, particularly in leather and some other sector, it is having 32% tariff, Japan 24% tariff, Malaysia 24% tariff, Myanmar, which is also coming very effectively both in the footwear and garment sector, will have 45% tariff. Pakistan will have 30% tariff, and in fact, that will give us little leeway in rice export because India will have 26% tariff. Pakistan will have 30% tariff. Philippines has a low tariff of 18%. Next one. South Africa is having 31% tariff, South Korea 26%. Sri Lanka, who is also a competitor in garment sector particularly, will have 44% tariff. Thailand, who is competing with us in many of the electronic segment, will have 37% tariff. Vietnam, who is a key competitor of India, along with China in apparel, footwear, electronics, furniture, will have a very high tariff of 46%. So when we looked into this picture, though of course there are countries which have the lowest tariff bracket of 10%, this will include UK, Singapore, Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Ecuador. And these countries will definitely put a threat to us so far as exports are concerned. We have to see that there are not much diversion of the business from India to those countries, though there are chances that in some of the sector, business will move from India to these countries. Our hope is that by that time the situation comes, we will have a BTA in place. Once we conclude the BTA, we can bring the 26% tariff to 0% or to 10%. The 10% stays there. So in the sector where we are right now having disadvantage with the high tariff as compared to lower reciprocal tariff in those countries, we can have a level playing field where we already have the advantage of having lower tariff as compared to countries who are having higher tariff. Our margins of profit and the competitiveness will go up further. Come to the next one. Now let us see how the tariff will work, how the tariff will apply. US always have an MFN tariff. MFN weighted average of MFN tariff in the US is 3%. So that means that on most of the product, US have a very low tariff. So if on a product A, the US has 5% tariff, that 5% tariff will continue. Now the reciprocal tariff at the rate of 10% for all the countries will come into effect from, I put it 5th July, it should be 5th April. From the 5th of April, we will have an additional tariff on 10% of all the countries. That 10% tariff will go to the specific country reciprocal tariff on 9th of April. So for a country like India, 10% will become 26%. For a country like Vietnam, 10% will become 46%. For a country like China, 10% will become 54% plus. There will be also exemption of goods from the reciprocal tariff. There are a number of products which have been exempted from reciprocal tariff. For example, copper has been exempted from reciprocal tariff. Pharma has been exempted, but today's US President's statement on pharma has been quite damaging. He has said that on pharma, he will bring a tariff which world has not seen. And that is something which we have to be very careful. The other products, semiconductors, which US require, lumber, article, energy product, and certain critical minerals which are not in the US are also in the exempted list. Next one. The exempted list also contain a lot of tariff line which is given in Annex 2 of the notification. So if you look into the executive declaration, there is Annex 2 attached. In the Annex 2, they have roughly hundreds of tariff line on which no reciprocal tariff will apply. So I was just looking into the product. There are a number of ferrometal, ferroalloys which are not being subjected to any tariff. They may put a tariff at any given point of time, but probably those material is required in the US by the industry or otherwise where they have not put the tariff. Steel and aluminum is not subject to reciprocal tariff because there is already 25% tariff on all countries across the globe. So there will be no additional tariff or reciprocal tariff of 26% on steel and aluminum. Automobiles and parts thereof are also subject to 25% tariff. So reciprocal or the additional tariff of 26% will not apply to them. On a number of products, there is already anti-dumping duty, safeguard duty, and countervailing duty. That will continue. So in a short form, I can say that from 9th of April, all exports from India to US will face MFN tariff plus 26% plus anti-dumping safeguard or countervailing duty if there is any such duty levied on that. So that will be the scenario in which the imports into US will operate from 9th of April. From 5th of April, it will be MFN plus 10% plus anti-dumping safeguard countervailing duty if applicable. So that is the scenario in which the tariff will operate. Next one. Let us also look into Mexico and Canada because there has been a lot of duty imposition on Mexico and Canada, but then there has been subsequent withdrawal also. So as the things stands now, Mexico will have 10% duty on non-US Mexico Canada compliant energy and potash product. All other non-compliant US Mexico Canada and US will have 25% duty. The product which are subject to tariff advantage between US, Mexico and Canada, they will continue to have the tariff advantage. So in short, you can say that the advantage to Mexico and Canada will be there. As they are not subject to reciprocal tariff, they will continue to enjoy the minimum tariff which will be imposed on them. Next one. Now let us look into some of the sectors where we are likely to be gainer and why we are likely to be gainer. Textile and garment is an area where we feel that we will have a lot of diversion of exports coming to us because whether it's China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Cambodia, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, in all these countries, the tariff is high. In fact, we have been told by a number of apparel exporters that they have received instruction from the buyer that please wait for the order, and that instruction has gone to all countries. They will be again re-looking into the order. Probably they will look into which is the country from where the landed price will be the most competitive, and order may change and the further order may go to those countries. So in textile and garment sector, we expect that a lot of orders will come to India because Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar, and China and Bangladesh all will be much costlier than India. Diamond jewelry is also a segment where we were having competition from Hong Kong, China, Thailand. But since in this industry, artisans are involved, probably UAE will not have the advantage, and diamond jewelry, the demand will of course take a hit, but we are likely to gain in whatever demand remains. Of course, in number of the sector with high tariff, the prices will move up. How the consumer respond to that, what will be the impact on demand is something which we have to see. But we also expect the US to announce key income tax cuts so that the residents have more purchasing power to comply with the rising inflation. Footwear and leather goods is also an area where we are looking a lot of business to come to India because the three main competitors, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, and to some extent Bangladesh now, are all subject to high tariff. Electronics and telecom is again a very, very promising area for us because China and Vietnam, the two main suppliers, are at a lower duty, though of course some competition from Japan, South Korea and EU may continue. Furniture also because again China and Vietnam are the two main competitors. Chemicals, we have in any case industry growing, export growing, and now India will have advantage over China to export these products, and so is true for the plastics also. Next one. Some of the area of our concern has been the industry like marine. In marine sector, we are seeing huge competition for Ecuador. Ecuador will be having 10% duty where India will having 26% duty. 16% duty difference will definitely take some of the market of India, and that is area of serious concern. In dairy product, the tariff will go up to as high as 40%. There are countries, for example, Canada and Mexico, who will be subject to very low tariff. Now, in some of the sectors, they will not be having certain tariffs. So we'll move from 13% to close to 40%. Machinery is a segment where we will have much competition from the South Korea, Japan, EU, and therefore this area is a cause of concern. Medical equipment with Germany and many of the European Union, the main supplier, we will have some threat. Gold jewelry, because UAE is having 10% duty. The industry expect that in gold jewelry, UAE may emerge as a competitor from India. Carpet is also an area of concern because Turkey, one of our competitors, will have 10% duty, whereas we will have 26% duty. Next one. Now, let us look into what will happen to the goods in transit, because a lot of exporter has shipped. They have concern what will happen if they have to pay high duty. The buyer will not get the goods released, or buyer will ask them to reduce the duty. The rules have been made very clear. If the goods have been loaded on the ship before 5th of April, then if they are being cleared after 5th of April, they will not be subject to additional duty. Similarly, if the goods are put on board at the port of loading before 9th of April, even if they are cleared after 9th of April, they will not be subject to any additional tariff. So that is something which is very good. If you have shipped the goods and if your goods reaches US for clearance before 5th of April, they will not be subject to any additional duty. If they reach before 9th of April, they will not be subject to higher duty. So if you have dispatched the goods which are cleared by 5th of April, there will be no additional duty. If they are cleared before 9th of April, they will have before 9th of April, they will have only 10% duty. If they are, sorry, there will be no duty. If they are cleared after 9th of April, there will be no country specific duty. So if the goods have been dispatched, they are cleared, let us say on 15th of May, they will be subject to only 10% additional duty. They will not be subject to 26% additional duty. So this is the way in which goods in transit have been dealt with. Lot of queries have been received from the member asking their tariff on a specific HS code. We have updated all the tariff at the Indian Trade Portal, which is being operated by FIEO. We also will be sending a detailed circular to members so as to enable them to check the tariff on their product. What will the tariff on 5th of April? What will the tariff on 9th April or thereafter? And once we formalize our BTA with the US and BTA comes into force, we will be reflecting the BTA advantage also to that. We have already requested the government to expedite the BTA because that will provide much relief from the reciprocal tariff. Government is sensitive to our demand. We are at the same time also looking into that in the current scenario, if the government provides some of the relief which has been sought after, including the interest equalization, extension of the ROTTEP and ROCTL has been pitched now, and we are hoping that in the given situation, some relief to export sectors comes. So this is in short the presentation, and now the floor is open. We would like to get inputs from that. We will try to clarify, and there's some issue where some intervention is required. We will be making note of that so that we can suitably reflect to the respective agencies. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir, for the extensive presentation. My colleague Anubha will be moderating the session. Those who have questions may please raise their hand, and Dr. Sahai will answer them one by one. Thank you. Anubha.
I request participants to please use the raise the hand button option. It is available under the React tab, so you can use it. And before we start the session, I would just like to inform that we have over 300 participants over Zoom and around 200 people are watching us live on YouTube. So, Mr. Yogendra Pal, please unmute yourself. Mr. Yogendra Pal.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a sir. I have a question related to the MFN and 10%. You said that if I'm exporting curtain rod, it has a 3.7, so it means 3.7 plus 10% duty will be applicable.
Yeah, from 5th of April till 8th of April. After 8th of April, it will be 3.7 plus 26%.
Okay, then 10% will not be basic applies.
No, is elevated to 26%.
And in case of steel or aluminum, only 3 plus 7 plus 26, 25% which earlier declared will be applicable.
That's true. Steel, aluminum, automobile, auto component, they are not subjected to this reciprocal country-wise tariff. They are subject to general tariff across the board.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Naveen, please unmute yourself.
Yes. So, sir, I have a question regarding the tariff, new reciprocal tariff for the aluminum products. Earlier, it was like 4.9% for the HS code of 7614000. But what would be the new tariff after this announcement of Mr. Trump on reciprocal tariff for these products?
Now, the point is that aluminum and aluminum products, they are already subjected to 25% tariff. Okay. So if they are subjected to 25% tariff, they are falling into that category. This reciprocal tariff will not apply. Please bear in mind, steel, aluminum, automobile, and auto component, they will not be subjected to this reciprocal country-specific tariff, as they are subject to 25% flat tariff across the countries.
No, that's clear to us very well that if we were paying 25% tariff, so then this 26%.
No, it will not apply. It will not apply. No, it will not apply. It will not be applied.
But one product which is made from aluminum and steel, we were exporting to the USA, and before this announcement, we were paying 4.9% tariff.
No.
But now, what will be the situation?
It will be 4.9 plus 26 now. Because the product on which you were paying 25% tariff, they have given the HS code. So if the HS code is not covered there, you are not subject to 25% tariff. You will be subject to this reciprocal tariff, which right now is not there. From 5th of April, it will be 10, and from 9th of April, it will be 26%.
Okay, it's 1 minute, sir. So, for more information, for more clarity, how we can see that for the particular HS code, how much tariff we have to pay now?
We have updated on the website. Either you go to the Indian Trade Portal to see it, and we will providing the details to our member so that everybody can go and see the specific tariff.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Gopinath, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir. My question is on we export barytes. So this is at the moment it is charged on per ton basis. So once this discounted reciprocal system kicks in, will there be a flat 26% tariff, or it will be in addition to the existing practice?
In the existing, if it is a specific tariff or quantity based tariff, the MFN will continue as such. This reciprocal tariff will be an ad valorem tariff only. So for you, it's a mix of the quantity-wise tariff plus an ad valorem tariff.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And in any case, HS code-wise, you have provided the data, right, sir? In the website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Spices Board, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the informative presentation. We noted your slide on Mexico and Canada, but just thought if we can get a bit more clarity, because spices, it was complaint falling under the US, Mexico and Canada agreement. So going by that logic and the points which you have clarified, we assume that it will continue the 0% tariff for export of spices from Mexico and Canada to USA.
That's true.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Mr. Rajbir, please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon. I have a specific question regarding I am from the food manufacturing company. Just wanted to know about the tariffs on the finished food products, such as biscuits, snacks, and bhujiyas and flour.
Sir, I won't be able to give you a specific answer. All that I'm saying that whatever is the tariff which was there, along with the tariff, 26% additional tariff will come into play from 9th of April. If you want to see what exactly is the exact tariff on MFN basis, please visit the Indian Trade Portal. You will get the tariff. You will get the updated tariff that will include the 26% also.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Mr. Dayanand, please unmute yourself. Mr. Dayanand?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah. Sir, you said that for the furniture sector, India will be going to benefit it. Sir, what I understand, sir, because along with the China, Vietnam, the Mexico is also a equally major suppliers. Because since, Mexico has a reduced duty, how India will be going to benefit it, sir?
For Mexico, the duty was always zero. The only advantage which Mexico will have is the margin will go up. Earlier on furniture, assuming the duty was 8%, Mexico was having 8% advantage. Now it will be 8 plus 26. Mexico will have 34% advantage. What I was saying that Mexico won't be able to expand the capacity to take care of export from China and Vietnam. So while on the one hand, Mexico will be the most competitive country, probably they will not have that kind of volume of production to take care and come as a replacement of China and Vietnam. So some diversion of business from China and Vietnam will happen to India. Much of that may happen to Mexico also. But please bear in mind, any small country, even India, will take time to come as a replacement of China. So advantage to Mexico continues. They will be in much better position. Probably they will be most competitive, but then they will have the limitation of production also. Mexico is having zero duty. Mexico is having much more advantage in all the sectors. Forget
Correct,
about
sir.
this. In all the
Yes.
sectors.
Yes,
So
yes.
it won't be possible for that in all the sectors they multifold their capacity to take care of India, China, Vietnam, and rest of the country. So
But
they will have
specifically,
limited advantage. But whatever business move from China and Vietnam, we have more opportunity to.
fine. Thank you.
Mr. JP Pandey, please unmute yourself.
नमस्ते सर, हम लोग पेपर कप इंडस्ट्री से हैं और यूएस में हम एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं। 48236900 HSN कोड है, तो इससे क्या इम्पैक्ट आएगा सर डायरेक्टली?
देखिए 26% टैरिफ बढ़ेगा आपका।
तो इसमें सर जो हमारे बायर ने हमसे पूछा टैरिफ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, उसमें 5 तरह के टैरिफ उन्होंने दिए हुए हैं, जिसमें 25%, 10%, 10%, 30% और 10% पूछा है। तो ये कौन इन टैरिफ 1, 2, 3 का कोई मतलब है इनका सर? कोई
मैं 1, 2, 3 नहीं, हम देखिए एक टैरिफ आपके ऊपर पहले क्या टैरिफ लगता था आपके ऊपर जो आप भेजते थे यहाँ से, कितना टैरिफ लगता था?
वो हमने कभी पूछा नहीं, उन्होंने 5% लिखा हुआ है वैसे सर।
तो 5% लगा तो 5% प्लस 26% लगेगा 9 तारीख के बाद।
9 के बाद 26 जुड़ जाएगा।
हाँ 26 जुड़ेगा।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Mr. Pranav, please unmute yourself. Mr. Pranav?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, we are
Sure.
exporting spices to USA. Currently, it was under the exemption. So the current rate will be 26%, right?
That's true.
But what
if
we
the MFN was zero, then
Yeah.
it will be 26%.
Okay, and the shipment which we have dispatched in March, about 4 containers. So
Yeah.
the tariff will be applicable on those containers also?
No, there will be no tariff. You have dispatched it already. And
Yes.
if they land after 9th of April, when you have dispatched that?
Around 15th to 20th March.
20th March, fine. They will not be subjected to tariff.
Okay. That's
Mr. Apurv, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sir. Good afternoon. This is Apurva and I am from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
अच्छा सर, मेरा HSN कोड है 831000. So basically that is magnetic label pin. So I don't know how much is the duty, but अभी जो करंट ड्यूटी है उसके बाद 26% और ऐड करके मुझे कोट करना पड़ेगा क्या कस्टमर को?
हाँ, आप क्या डिलीवर ड्यूटी पेड करते हैं, क्या करते हैं आप?
नहीं, मेरा मोस्टली तो सर FOB रहता है मोस्टली।
तो फिर आपको ड्यूटी क्या बायर ड्यूटी देखेगा? आपको क्यों ड्यूटी देखना है फिर?
अच्छा, ओके, तो दैट इज हिज हेडेक, राइट?
भाई अगर CIF FOB कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, ठीक है, तो वो उसकी बॉदरेशन है ड्यूटी पे ना। अगर DDP कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है तो आपको ड्यूटी पे करना है, तब आप कैलकुलेट कीजिए, तो भाई बायर को कैलकुलेट करने दीजिए।
ओके। और सर अपना टेक्सटाइल्स में भी सेम ही रहेगा ना? इफ यू आर गोइंग विद द HSN चैप्टर 61 and 62 it will be on the same principle, right? If the shipments are FOB basis.
बिल्कुल आपकी बॉदरेशन नहीं है।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, थैंक यू।
Mr. Santana Krishnan, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I am just going through Indian trade portal, your website, sir. For
Yeah.
tractors, we are exporting tractors under HS code 8701. So MF status, MF tariff is 0. And also they are mentioned additional duty is also mentioned as not applicable. In that case, after even after 5th or 9th April,
Then that will not be applicable. They have exempted certain products because maybe tractor may be used for their agriculture purpose.
yeah.
So if the additional duty has been mentioned at 0, it will not be applicable.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Amit, please unmute yourself. Mr. Amit?
Yeah, thank you very much. I have two questions. One is, will the GI tag products which are specifically being grown and manufactured in India will be also subjected? And second, my one consignment has moved from, like it is getting cleared today in Delhi, and then it will move through Concord to the port of loading. So in this case, will the applicable will happen, this tax applicable?
No, first of all, on the first product, there is no classification of GI tag product. It will be classified as a product on the HS code. So whatever MFN tariff was there, there will be an additional 26% levied on the product. Okay, that's one part. The goods which you are clearing from the Delhi, please ensure that that is put on board before 9. If you are able to put it on the ship before 9, you will get the exemption. But if the goods are not put on board before 9, then you will not get the exemption.
Noted, sir. Thank you very much.
Mr. Naveen, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, again, Naveen, thanks for the earlier clarification. And we checked this Indian trade portal for the HS code, which we are exporting to the US market. And when I'm looking that portal, it is showing 4.9% tariff only.
No, the 4.9% basic tariff, there are other tariff also, which is there. It's which is the product code you are talking about?
76141000.
141000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just let me just check it because maybe Annex 2. Let me just find it out. Just a minute. एक मिनट बता रहा हूँ आपको. प्रतीक, एक ये कोड देखो, ये 76141000 करके, इसमें क्या ये एग्जैक्ट एनेक्स 2 में है प्रोडक्ट? बिकॉज इसमें 4.5 दिखाया, एडिशनल ड्यूटी नहीं दिखा रहे हो आप लोग. हाँ, हाँ, अच्छा, ओके ओके, तो 9 को करोगे. ओके ओके, अच्छा ठीक है, ओके. सॉरी नवीन जी, वो अभी एज ऑन डेट जो दिखा रहा है वो आज की ड्यूटी दिखा रहा है.
ओके,
तो वो 9 को अपडेट करेंगे इसको.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And I have another one more question regarding this new reciprocal tariff will apply from after if the shipment. Suppose I'm doing a DDP order to the US market. I have shipped the material on 3rd April and it is reaching to the 3rd May to the US port. So will this reciprocal
नहीं,
tariff
आपको नहीं लगेगा, रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ नहीं लगेगा आपके ऊपर.
Means from BL date.
हाँ, it's a BL date.
Okay.
It's a BL date.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ketal Doshi, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the presentation. Just, sir, two quick questions. There are certain countries where no reciprocal tariff is declared. Will they still be subjected to 10% tariff?
Yeah, 10% is now the new tariff. So on 51 countries, they have imposed tariff ranging from 10% to 54%.
Right.
But apart from these 57 countries, everyone has to pay minimum of 10%.
Okay, so that goes without saying.
That's true.
And sir, just one more question. If the product that they are exporting is under exemption, would they still be subject to 10% or?
No, it will be. I have to see, but because exemption is from MFN. So I think this 10% will continue because the 10% and higher tariff is an executive order. The MFN is a legislative order. So you have got the exemption from MFN, but then 10% and after some time 26% that will apply.
Right. So just one another question. Some time back, there was a 20% tariff on China, 10% plus 10% in USA. So this 34% will be over and above that 20%.
54% has already become. That's why I said that you should treat 34 as 54.
Right.
Because on all products, the 54 will apply. There are other products on which the old tariff of 25% is continuing. And for those products, it will be 79. So the minimum tariff for Chinese product in the US is 54%. For some product, it may go as high as 79%.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Shreyansh, please unmute yourself. Shreyansh Prasad.
Yeah. So currently solar PV modules exported to the US are classified under electronic goods and they incur 14% safeguard duty. Whereas under the reciprocal tariffs, electronics are exempted. So is it safe to say only SGD will continue to prevail and no additional 26 additional tariff percent would be levied?
No, you are right. Only safeguard will continue.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Casey, please unmute yourself.
Sir, we are from organic food industry. Is there any specification for organic exports?
No.
So it will be generalized.
Absolutely.
And sir, if anything has come as for soya specifically, soybean, soya meal, any specifically for that? Because it already has an anti-dumping there, tracks there.
No, point is that whatever tariff is there, that will continue. This is basically a reciprocal is an additional tariff. So if you are having anti-dumping duty, if you are having safeguard duty, all that will continue. This is an additional burden which has been put on all countries. The minimum additional burden is 10%. For some country, it may go as high as 54%. For a country like India, it is 26%.
Sir, in your presentation, there was a chapter in goods in transit. So we have been leading to that time and again. So could you please explain this little bit more?
Good in US is imposing the additional tariff, the higher tariff from 9th of April. To be fairness to the trade, they have said that if you have put the goods on board, if you have the bill of lading where goods have moved, they don't want to penalize such importers. Because somebody has placed the order, you have moved the goods, you have no control over goods. And during the transit period or when the goods have been come out of your hand, the duty has increased. So in all fairness, US has said on those goods, we will not be putting the additional duty. So if you have dispatched the goods by 9th of April, you have a bill of lading, then this 26% will not apply on it.
So then what is this 5%? Like the significance of date 5? Like
date 5?
So there's a mention that transit before 12.
No. There are two ways. One is that if you are disposing the goods before 5th of April, then this 10% will not apply even if the goods are cleared after 5th of April.
Okay.
Because assuming you have dispatched the goods on 30th of March, goods are being cleared on 6th of April. On 6th of April, 10% duty has come into force. In such case, it will not apply. Now, if you have cleared the goods before 31st of March or in February, goods are now being cleared after 9th of April. When 26% on India has come, you will be exempted from 26%.
Clear, sir. Clear.
Mr. Raman, please unmute yourself.
We are exporting woven fabric to US. Already it is under exemption, zero duty tariff. So what will be the effect?
In fact, the zero will continue. You will pay 26% more.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Arvind, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, Namaskar, Ajay. Dr. Sahab.
Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar, sir. So you have explained very well why the PPT, there was so much of confusion till yesterday, but a lot of clarity has come with this. So, Dr. My question is that, you said that we have a competitive edge as compared to Vietnam or Thailand. Now, when these duties can change, like these countries renegotiate with US, then these
Yes.
duties possibly could come down. So, is there a minimum time that says 6 months or a year, or it could change any time?
नहीं sir, it can change any time.
Okay.
But मेरे को लगता है probably you have to convince the US that you are taking steps to reduce the trade deficit. If you can give business to Mr. Trump at the drop of the pin, he can change the duty.
Okay.
Because it's an executive order. This is nothing that you go to Senate or Congress for approval. So he can do whenever he feels like. But if somebody is going through the process, probably process will take some time.
Understood, sir. And so one more question, that in your opening speech, you said that the government may reintroduce that ROTTEP. So is it that for a advanced organization?
In fact, we have some discussion what government needs to do in such situation. We said that let us look into low-hanging fruits. Whatever we are demanded is pending. Let us first push for that. And then we can look into what else is required. So we said that interest equalization, ROTTEP extension beyond September, ROTTEP continuation for advanced license, EOU beyond 5th of February. These are the low-hanging fruits which will not require much of the funds also. So we are pushing that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Alok Kumar.
Yeah, just a minute. नमस्ते साय साहब, मैं कारपेट इंडस्ट्रीज से हूँ, कैलाशक इंडस्ट्रीज भदोही से। जैसा कि आपने बताया, हमको लगता है कि कारपेट पे 3 से 6% के बीच में टैरिफ है, तो वो आने वाले समय में जो भी एग्जिस्टिंग टैरिफ है प्लस 26% जो है हो जाएगा, जैसा कि आपने अभी बताया। मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग।
नहीं, बिल्कुल ठीक है।
अच्छा, अब दूसरा क्वेश्चन है सर, हम लोग अभी जो डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि कुछ बीटीए की बात हो रही है, बायलैटरल ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स की बात हो रही है, गवर्नमेंट 1-to-1 डिस्कस कर रही है, तो क्या कोई उसका इम्पैक्ट होने वाला है कारपेट इंडस्ट्री पे? कुछ हमको रिलीफ मिलेगा?
बिल्कुल उसमें रिलीफ मिलेगा, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट हमारे जो एक्सपोर्ट इंटरेस्ट हैं, जो हमारे प्रोडक्ट जो हम यूएस को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, उन पे गवर्नमेंट जीरो ड्यूटी चाहेगी। तो गिव एंड टेक चल रहा है। मेरे को लगता है एक्सपोर्ट साइड में उतने चैलेंज नहीं है, जो इंपोर्ट साइड में उनकी डिमांड है वो थोड़ी क्रूशियल है। इंडस्ट्रियल गुड्स में वो भी ज्यादा क्रूशियल नहीं है। प्रॉब्ली जो अगर हम ईवीज की बात करें या एग्रीकल्चर डेयरी प्रोडक्ट की बात करें, वहां सेंसिटिविटी इन्वॉल्व है। शॉर्ट पॉइंट भी हम मेक करेंगे, बीटीए आने के बाद नंबर ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट प्रोडक्ट हमारे जो है वो रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ से हट जाएंगे, या तो अगर यूएस में जनरल टैरिफ 10% एप्लीकेबल रहेगा तो उस पर आएंगे, या जीरो हो जाए।
तो कुछ आइडिया है सर कि ये बीटीए कब तक इसका इम्पैक्ट हम लोग को देखने को मिलेगा? कुछ एग्रीमेंट तो साइन हो जाएंगे?
जो लीडरशिप के बीच में डिसाइड हुआ था, वो डिसाइड हुआ था फॉल ऑफ 2025। तो सितंबर अक्टूबर डेडलाइन है। हम लोग मिनिस्ट्री से रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि जो सिचुएशन है उसको देखते हुए जो सेक्टर इम्पैक्ट हो रहे हैं उनमें कोई हम जैसे अर्ली हार्वेस्ट का होता है एफटीए में, कि कुछ प्रोडक्ट पे, सेलेक्टेड प्रोडक्ट पे जल्दी एफटीए कर लिया जाए। तो हमने कहा कि सितंबर तक जाने में कुछ प्रोडक्ट पे हम जो हमारे इफेक्ट हो रहे हैं, जैसे आपका कारपेट इफेक्ट हो रहा है, मरीन इफेक्ट हो रहा है, या और सेक्टर हो रहे हैं, ज्वेलरी इफेक्ट, उसमें हम अगर जल्दी कर सकें तो एक लिमिटेड एफटीए करके अर्ली हार्वेस्ट में उनको हम ले आए।
थैंक यू सो मच।
Mr. Sushil, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the presentation. It was, quite, we got lots of knowledge from this presentation. We belong from spectacle lens industry. Our HSN code is 9001 5000.
Yeah.
So presently our tariff is around 2%, and for some goods it is 2.5%.
Yeah.
And basically it falls under medical equipment category in US.
Yeah.
So we would like to know the impact of the present tariff which US government has put on Indian
So
goods.
2 to 2.5% basically will become 28 to 28.5% for you.
Okay, so that means 26% will be additional. It's not like 26% of 2.5%.
No, it's an additional one.
It will be added. It will be added to the present goods.
Yes.
And second thing, sir, you referred trade portal of India. So whenever this tariff will going to change, so that will be reflected in the trade portal. If you put our HSN codes
it's on a real time basis. That's why we are ready On 5th, we will put the 10%. On 9th, we will put the 26%.
Okay, perfect, sir. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Swati, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi, sir. Actually, we are into the export of sesame seeds with HS code 120749090. Earlier, it was duty free. So, can you please advise how much import duty is being applicable currently?
What I will suggest to you, and that is my request to everyone, please go through Annex 2, which has been issued along with the executive order of 2nd April by the US President. If the product, because there are a number of products which are falling in that list. If the product is falling on that list, then reciprocal tariff will not apply. If the product is not there, then Swati, 26% will come into force from 9th of April. 10% will come into force from 5th of April.
Okay, so we need to refer Annex 2. If the product is applicable in the Annex 2, it will not be applicable for tariff. Okay.
No, it will not be subject to reciprocal tariff.
Okay, so thank you for your information.
Mr. Gurkirat, please unmute yourself.
डॉक्टर साहब मुझे पूछना है कि ये जो फॉर्मूला इन्होंने अडॉप्ट किया है रेसिप्रोकल टैरिफ का, मर्केंटाइज ट्रेड सरप्लस डिवाइडेड बाय इंपोर्ट्स इनटू यूएस, ये जो दोनों फिगर है मर्केंटाइज ट्रेड सरप्लस और इंपोर्ट इनटू यूएस, ये तो फिगर्स चेंज होते रहते हैं ओवर द इयर्स। तो कल अगर ये चेंज होते हैं से 1 साल 1.5 साल बाद कि इंपोर्ट कम हो जाता है यूएस में हमारे इंडिया से, या मर्केंटाइज ट्रेड सरप्लस चेंज होता है, तो क्या 26% भी चेंज होगा?
नहीं, वो चेंज होते सर ऐसा है कि ये उनको निगोशिएशन के सब कंट्रीज को बुलाना है, ये आइडिया है। वो बड़ी मार्केट है, उसका एडवांटेज ले रहे हैं, उन्होंने ये ड्यूटी लगा दी। अब आप आइए, आप बताइए कि हम कैसे आप अपना एक्सपोर्ट आपके यहाँ बढ़ा सकते हैं, तो ट्रेड डेफिसिट कम हो सकती है। कुछ कंट्रीज से हम टैरिफ कैसे कम कर सकते हैं, वो इसको हटा लेंगे। मैं नहीं लगता कि इतना लंबा ये कोई चलेगा, बिकॉज ऐसा जिस तरह का इन्फ्लेशन यूएस में एक्सपेक्टेड है वो शायद आउटक्राई होगा। बिकॉज अगर खाली चाइना पे टैरिफ लगाते, बाकी पे नहीं लगाते, तो शायद हो सकता है कि वो मैनेज कर पाते कि कुछ सोर्सेस से वो सप्लाई लेके अपने इन्फ्लेशन को कंट्रोल कर सकते थे। अब उन्होंने इतने बड़े स्पेक्ट्रम पे टैरिफ लगा दिया है कि प्राइस राइज इज सर्टेन देयर। तो मेरे को नहीं लगता है बहुत लंबा चलेगा, कंट्री वाइज कंट्री वो उनको एग्जेम्पशन देते जाए।
विश डॉक्टर साहब आप सही हो। Thank you very much.
Dr. Dinesh Dua, please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. Ajay ji, namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. Nice to see you, sir.
Same here. Ajay ji, there's an assumption that if I shift my manufacturing base from India to US for the penultimate or ultimate, right? Yeah. And if I import N-1 or N-2 in there, that intermediate that I'm exporting to the US, will that attract 26%?
Yes.
Although the value accretion is as much as 50% or maybe thereabouts.
That's true. But what you will be consuming in the US, what you will be doing that?
Consuming in the US itself, yes.
That's true, because if you're making export, probably you will have some mechanism to get it duty free. But if you're consuming in the US, that's why that I personally feel that these measures will not last long.
Absolutely.
Because US industry, if even they want to bring manufacturing with such additional cost, who will do the manufacturing in the US?
No way, sir. In
no
pharmaceuticals, for $10 billion worth of pharmaceuticals, they don't have the capacity. Nobody in the world has the capacity. Where is he going to get it from?
And secondly, nobody will be investing just for the 4 years. What will happen once the tariff comes down?
Correct, sir, correct. So secondly, what is the position on IT and ITS? What is the rate of tariff?
There is no tariff on services. There is no tariff in any case. Immigration visa is an issue, which is being negotiated. Whether we can have big visa numbers. But my point is that he will discourage companies to go for offshore because they will be taxing it accordingly. So they will encourage those who employ more US professionals rather than who are taking H-1B. So probably their tax structure will change for the domestic company to discourage them to go for this.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Dilip, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir, we export fastener product in US.
Yeah.
Our HSN code is 731815000.
Yeah.
Sir, if 26% duty will applicable on our product, then how much our product will affect as compared to China?
No, but पहले देखिए आपका है कि बहुत से स्टील प्रोडक्ट जो 25% ड्यूटी लगी थी उसके एनेक्चर में डिटेल में है. तो माय रिक्वेस्ट यू विल बी पहले उनको देख लें. प्लीज ऑल्सो लुक एट एनेक्स 2 बिकॉज स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलिए. अगर आपके प्रोडक्ट 731 बिकॉज स्टील के बहुत से प्रोडक्ट पे 25% ड्यूटी लगी हुई है, तो पहले उस लिस्ट को देख लीजिए. श्रीनाथ, व्हाट विल डू, वी विल सेंड ऑल दीज एनेक्चर along with circular to the industry so that they can see. पहले आप अपना स्टील का नोटिफिकेशन देख लीजिए, एनेक्स 2 देख लीजिए. अगर इन दोनों में नहीं है तो आपके ऊपर 26% ड्यूटी लगेगी. चाइना के ऊपर मिनिमम 54% लगेगी. कुछ प्रोडक्ट में चाइना में मेरे दिखने में उस पर 79% भी हो सकती है. तो आप 26% देंगे, आपका चाइनीज सप्लायर 54 या 79 देगा, तो आपकी कॉम्पिटिटिवनेस काफी रहेगी सर.
ओके, अगर सर पहले से 25% अगर
एप्लीकेबल नहीं लगेगी, फिर कोई ड्यूटी नहीं लगेगी.
फिर कोई नहीं लगेगा.
कोई नहीं लगेगी.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
थैंक
यू. डॉक्टर इंदिरा देवी, प्लीज अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
Namaste, Dr. Sahai.
Namaste.
First one is like we are discussing based on the reciprocal tariff rates alone. So can we get some more information how these changes are going to influence the domestic demand, especially in agricultural food products, for instance, within US?
Domestic
have some information on that.
So my point is, first of all, most of the product which US is importing, on those products, we are expecting a price rise to happen.
Oh, yes.
Because if the product, the weighted average tariff of US is moving from 3% to 25%.
Yes.
So on an average, 22% additional levy will be there. So product which assuming was earlier for 103 rupees will now be for 125 rupees.
Yes.
Whether consumer will be paying 22 rupees extra, whether consumer has that much of purchasing power, if the answer is no, it will take a hit on the demand.
Yes.
So probably lot of parameters will work. As of now, I won't be able to give a correct answer. That's why I'm saying that I'm also hoping that, as Mr. Trump said, probably he will be collecting the revenue through import duties. He will be reducing the individual tax burden so that people have more money at them. And so that if the prices are increasing, they can factor that. But if that is not happening, the demand will take a hit. And that's why for many of the so-called luxury items, even if we are in a competitive position, much will depend whether demand is there or not. Today, you must have seen that WTO chief, she said that global trade will decline by 1%. This is when US has started. Now, reciprocal tariff, retaliatory tariff will be put by other countries also. So we are all set for utter chaos. My personal feeling is both the global trade and global economy will take a huge hit. And by the time US realizes 4 years down the line, it will be too late for them also.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sahai.
Thank
you. TTP Technologies, please unmute yourself.
So we are from TTP Technologies. We are export radiators for power sector, power transformers. Our HSN code is 85049010. We are in power. We are in power sector.
Yeah.
This tariff is applicable to us.
I personally feel yes, but again I will say that look into Annex 2, because some of the product which US desperately require, or some of them are pure raw material, US has exempted the reciprocal tariff. So please go through Annex 2. I will be supplying that, but anyone, if they want, just go to the Google, ask the executive order of 2nd April 2025. You will get the order. The annex are listed after the order. So you can see, otherwise we will be circulating that. Look into this order. If it is not there, then 26% will come into play.
So second thing, the shipment is already affected. Some more shipment is arriving to USA or in transit. Then what will be?
No, if you have a bill of lading which is prior to 5th of April or prior to 9th of April, you should not worry, the additional tariff will not apply.
And third thing, sir, in the trade portal for our HSN code is showing MFN is showing the rate of duty is 0.
No, point to that, that's something. Trade portal is a live portal. So for your right now, your MFN is 0. So they are reflecting 0. From 5th of April, you will see it will say 0 plus 10%. And from 9th of April, it will say 0 plus 26%.
Okay.
Right now, it is 0 for you. But from 5th April, it will be 0 plus 10. And from 9th April, it will be 0 plus 26. That means 26%.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ajay, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hi, sir. This is Ajay. We are exporters of rice based in Hyderabad, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, like for our product 10063010, there is an MFN of 11.2%, which is already there.
Yeah.
So this 26%, whichever this reciprocal tax is over and above that 11.2.
Yeah.
That is, we have to pay 26% on 11.2% also.
That's true. For you, it will be 37.2 now.
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Himanshi Kapoor, please unmute yourself. Himanshi Kapoor.
हेलो
Yes, ma'am.
गुड इवनिंग सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि एक्चुअली आई एम इनटू ई कॉमर्स एक्सपोर्ट तो मुझे ये पूछना था कि जो डी मिनिमस वैल्यू थी जो $800 की तो क्या वो अभी भी एप्लीकेबल है
डी मिनिमस वैल्यू एप्लीकेबल है चाइना के लिए 2 मई से डी मिनिमस खत्म हो रही है
ओके
सो चाइना के लिए नहीं होगा $800 की डी मिनिमस वैल्यू will not apply to China. It will be an opportunity for e-commerce exporter from India. We will continue to enjoy that facility, but China and Hong Kong will not enjoy that. From 2nd of May, China and Hong Kong will pay 30% duty on their e-commerce shipment from 2nd of May.
ऑल राइट सर सो आपको क्या लगता है कि ये ई कॉमर्स एक्सपोर्ट पर इसका मतलब लाइक
बहुत पॉजिटिव असर आना चाहिए चाइना बहुत ज्यादा ई कॉमर्स सप्लाई करता है और 30% ड्यूटी चलती है तो इंडियन ई कॉमर्स के लिए बहुत अच्छी बात होनी चाहिए
ऑल राइट सर ओके जी ओके थैंक यू
Mr. Dilip Singh, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, we are into manufacturing of parts of agriculture and off-highway vehicles, and we are having our warehouse in US as well. So as of now, on our products, there is derivative duty of 25% applicable from 12th of March. So will this reciprocal duty will also be applicable on our products?
No, it will not be applicable.
So there will be derivative duty only on our products. This will not be applicable.
No,
we also import from China, sir, and there was earlier anti-dumping duty on that, and there was another 20% executive order duty applied, and then derivative is also there. So in that case, also reciprocal duty will not apply, right?
No.
But 20% executive order duty will be there.
That continues.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. M.S. Prasad, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir. It's nice elaborated discussion which has been enlightened us. There is one clarification. A part of the HS codes which are mentioned in this Annexure 2 only applies for this 26% duty. So
no, they are exempted. If it is in Annex 2, right now they are exempted.
Okay.
But at any given point of time, they can bring the duty. But as of now, they are exempted. So 26% will not apply on any product which is in Annex 2.
Okay. And where anti-dumping is being subject to...
They will continue. Please bear in mind, anti-dumping, safeguard and countervailing are defense protective measures for the industry. So they no way intervene with the normal operation of duty. They will continue.
Okay, sir. Right. Thank you.
Mr. Sudhir, please unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the information. Sir, I am merchant exporter from Punjab. Sir, I am checking Indian trade portal.
Yes.
Sir, just you let me know. Now I am very much clear. We have the importer has to pay most favored nation plus 26%. And sir, here it is mentioned Section 232 tariff. What is that?
So Section 232 tariff is the section in which they have invoked the duty. For example, on aluminum and steel, they already imposed the duty, put 25% duty. and therefore such products are under the exempted list. On that, section 20, that 26% will not apply.
Sir, in our HSN code, 820411, section 232 is 0.
So section 232 is 0.
Yes.
Just a minute.
And MFN is 9%.
No, the 9 in any case, let me just see. Just a minute. Let me. 8 minutes. Into the notice. You will be subjected to duty, 26%, sir.
Okay, MFN plus 26.
26. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Nitin, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm requesting this for seaweed product that we are exporting from India. This is the HSN code is 31010000 for the US, and in India it's 0099. We were having a 0 tariff earlier. Right now, from what I'm seeing on India Trade Portal is showing 10%. I would like to understand, whether this 27% now applicable or it's 10%. There's some clarity that's required.
Just a minute. 10% will be applicable. If it is 0, MFN remains 0.
Right.
10% will come into operation from 5th of April. So from tomorrow, 10% will come into operation. That 10% will become 26% from 9th April.
Okay, understood. And sir, I had one more question. You mentioned that for the bill of lading, which was done before 5th or 9th of April, they will be exempt. But my understanding was that actually it should reach there before 9th. Is that right? Or bill of lading is okay?
No. Goods should be dispatched. They be cleared on or after. You do one thing, the executive notification which is there. Look in para 2 on page 8. That details is there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
What
Thank
I
you very
quoted
much.
in my side is basically that para only.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Silk Path Enterprise, please unmute yourself.
नमस्कार साय सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने बहुत सारे आंसर दिए। आई अंडरस्टैंड आप थक भी गए होंगे, बट जस्ट अ क्विक क्वेश्चन फॉर द डबल चेक। मैंने स्पाइसेस बोर्ड के आंसर में सुना कि स्पाइसेस पे देयर इज नो इम्पैक्ट एज ऑफ नाउ।
मेरे को ये नहीं है, उन्होंने बोला कि मैक्सिको के लिए बात की, मैक्सिको को 0 ड्यूटी एडवांटेज पहले था, अब भी रहेगा। हो सकता है बिकॉज स्पाइसेस में कंपटीशन, इंडिया का जो स्पाइसेस है वो हर जगह अवेलेबल नहीं है, तो प्रॉब्ली उस तरह से वो देख रहे होंगे, उनको टैरिफ के लिए शायद उतना इम्पैक्ट ना करे।
बराबर, क्योंकि जो मैं उनके क्वेश्चन को जो समझ पाया, दैट्स व्हाट दे ट्राई टू से कि मैक्सिको और कनाडा पे नहीं है, सेम एज विल बी एप्लीकेबल फॉर द इंडिया एज वेल बिकॉज वी फॉल इन द सेम एग्रीमेंट और समथिंग।
नहीं, इंडिया है वो एग्रीमेंट ही यूएस मैक्सिको कनाडा का है, तो इंडिया उसमें कहां से आ जाएगा? देखिए, मैक्सिको कनाडा पे ड्यूटी 0 है, except on certain item where they have put 10% duty on energy product and 25% duty on the rest of the product. तो पहले जो यूएस मैक्सिको कनाडा का जो एफटीए था वो नहीं कह रहे थे, बाद में they have agreed, so exemption continues, but there are a lot of product जो उसमें नहीं दिए गए हैं, उन पे 25% ड्यूटी होगी, except energy product and some product where it will be 10%.
अच्छा, तो स्पाइसेस में अभी हमें क्लैरिटी नहीं है, दैट्स व्हाट वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड।
क्लैरिटी स्पाइसेस में भी है, स्पाइसेस में कोई एग्जेम्पशन नहीं है, जो एमएफएन था उसमें 26% और लगेगा।
ओके सर, क्लियर, थैंक यू।
Angel Starch in Food.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is Nanda. I'm from Angel Starch and Food, Tamil Nadu. Yesterday, when we had a conversation with one of our importers for the product tapioca starch, they had informed us that, there is a baseline duty of 10%, and the duties that are imposed right now will be on top of that baseline duty. So the duty will be at 36%.
No.
Okay.
So we have got the clarification. It is very clear. 10% is enhanced to 26%. It is not in addition. Look into the language of the notification, very clearly says 10% will be enhanced to 26%, or 10% is enhanced to respective reciprocal rate. So it is not in addition.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sudhanshu, please unmute yourself. Sudhanshu, Himachal.
Very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We manufacture turpentine and its derivatives products. Our products HSN code is 2902 and 3805. So what is the tariff rate on this product category?
Sir, I'm sorry, I won't be able to give you a specific answer. Look at the Indian Trade Portal. MFN tariff is there. What I'm saying that in addition to the MFN tariff, there will be additional 10% tariff on you from 5th of April to 8th of April, and MFN tariff to 26% tariff from 9th April onward. What is the MFN tariff? Go to the Indian Trade Portal. You can see the tariff. We have provided information. You can put the product description or the HS description. It will provide you the tariff.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Sumnesh Agarwal. Mr. Sumnesh.
Our council looks after export of sports goods and toys. But in Annexure 2, nothing has been mentioned about Chapter 95. The detail is up to 87. Could you please?
So that means your product will be subject to 10%, subsequently 26% duty.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Annex 2 is the list of product where reciprocal tariff will not apply. If your product is not there, then reciprocal tariff will apply on your product.
Okay, it means we have to pay 26% extra.
That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ratnesh, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
We are an exporter of R2 control cable. We are exporting our product under HSN code 870-89900. Earlier, we are paying 0% duty. Right now, any extra duty are applicable? Or?
No, if you're paying 0% duty, that has not been changed. Now you will paying 0 plus 26% from 9th April.
Okay, 26% extra we have to pay,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Prasanna, please unmute yourself. Mr. Prasanna.
Hello.
Yeah.
Rajesh here from FPP Technologies.
Yes.
So thank you for the informative session.
Yeah.
We would like to know, we'll really appreciate, you could help us with the HSN 850-490 will be under tariff of 25%.
No. What is your question?
So we would like to know HSN 850-490.
Okay.
For this HSN, that tariff will be applicable.
The point is that tariff will be, on the product, there must be some tariff which was already there. What we call the MFN tariff. That continues. Now the issue of reciprocal tariff comes. If your product is not part of Annex 2, then reciprocal tariff will apply on your product, or it is not part of the notification, where on auto component, they have already imposed 25% duty. So if it is not part of the Annex 2 or not part of the product of automobile sector, 26% additional will apply. I've been given to understand that in Indian Trade Portal, now they have uploaded everything. Once you tick it, it gives the duty as on date, it gives the duty from 5th April to 9th April, and it also gives the duty from 10th of April onwards. So everything has been updated. Just put your HS code, all the details will be applicable to you.
Ms. Indumati, please unmute yourself.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah, sir, could you please explain this reciprocal tariff once again, sir, please?
So reciprocal tariff is a tariff which Mr. Trump has imposed on 57 countries. The tariff is based on the trade surplus which these countries have as a percentage of their exports. The tariff, reciprocal tariff ranges between 10% to 54%. For a country like India, they have put 26% as reciprocal tariff. So on all exports from India to US, importer, apart from the basic customs duty, will pay this 26% additional duty also from 9th of April onwards.
Okay. Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful webinar, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Girish Sethi, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, very well described, explained, and thanks for sparing your valuable time. I have 3-4 questions, sir.
Yeah.
What about if Indian company open office in Vietnam and exports from there to USA? Will they get benefit?
No, no.
Country of origin
What is the origin of the goods? What is the origin of the goods?
Origin means, let's say, openly I'm telling you, let's say if we exporting from India to Vietnam and Vietnam to USA.
So
you
will get 26% duty on that. You should have certificate of origin from India, or even if you have certificate of origin from Vietnam, based on certificate of origin from India, it should say that goods are of Indian origin.
But if some value addition is there, repacking or something like that.
If the value addition is there, you transform the product.
Maybe let's say the tag, the labeling or the repacking is there. Will we get the benefit of Vietnam?
No, you will not, because in the US law, they consider rules of origin where minimum 50% value addition happens for non-preferential tariff. So if India is having non-preferential tariff with the US, minimum 50% should happen. So if you are exporting from Vietnam, US will say whether 50% value addition has happened or not in Vietnam. If that has not happened, it will not be considered as origin of Vietnam.
Okay. Point number 2, you said the 5th of April or 9th of April, the bill of lading or the on-board bill of lading should be there. What about the air shipment?
What about?
Air shipment.
So if the
Same
EGM
5th April or 9th April formula will be there?
No, it definitely will be there. It should be on board. So if the EGM is 5th April or 9th of April, the same concession will flow.
Whether by air or whether by sea?
Absolutely.
What about the payment, 100% or 50% payment received, LC received by the exporter in India? What to do with that?
No. What is that? Right now, they have taken a very logical decision where they said that goods are not within your control. Goods have been handed over to some agency. They want to honor the commitment and they want to clear such goods at a lower duty. Now, where the goods have not been shipped, it is within your control. You need to contact with the buyer and mutually settle it out. In fact, if you look into India, we give the concession as on the date of filing of bill of entry.
Yes.
We don't give concession. So in that way, US has been little liberal.
But it, my experience says, I have seen in the past, if the DGFT say if the LC is opened or the payment is received, 100% proof is there.
Please bear in mind there are 2 distinct things. One is the importability, other is the tariff.
Okay.
In importability, we go by the bill of lading. In tariff, we go by the file of date of bill of entry. US even for tariff is going by the bill of lading.
Okay, they have put the condition of value of the on-board bill of lading.
That's
now
they say goods on board. They say goods on board. That's why I said that air and sea both will be covered.
Okay. Now, what about the role of WTO? Will they object or will they accept?
WTO even object, what will happen? With the WTO object, you go into appeal, appellate authorities are not there. Who will listen to those appeals? Out of the 8 judges, no judge is there in the appellate body as of now. You go to dispute settlement board, you can't do anything.
I would like to add here, when they can object on the MEIS or SEIS, they can't object on this WTO. This WTO can't object on this RT.
Sir, WTO can object, but if the other side is not listening, WTO hardly has the teeth to work. It is the member which will provide teeth to the WTO.
Okay. Now, my question is the item which are listed in Appendix 2, can these exporter increase the price to get benefit? Because they are the essential items. So can they get some increase in prices?
No, it is up to the buyer and the seller. If you feel that you can increase the prices, buyer is willing to accept, then do that. But the product which are in Annex 2, on those products, none of the country is subject to higher tariff. Okay. So you are in a field where if market dynamics and you are in a seller's market, you can dictate the terms.
Okay. One last question. What you will advise to the exporters? Will they should wait for some more time, wait and watch? Anything can happen in future or near future, maybe soon.
Sir, neither I'm an astrologer now. I'm a politician to predict the future. The point is that the only thing which I can talk about the future is that we may have the BTA in place where some relief from the reciprocal tariff will be there. So if you have a time frame of, let us say, 3 to 6 months time, you can wait, because I personally feel by September, October, latest by September, October, the BTA will be in place where some exemption from reciprocal tariff will be there.
So can we take few more queries?
Yeah, please.
Mr. Vishwanath, please unmute yourself. Mr. Vishwanath?
Yeah, good evening, Ajay Sahab.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
How are you? Long time. Nice to see you.
Fine, sir. Yes.
Sir, the Annexure 1, I was going through, it was showing 27%.
No, it has been corrected today.
It has been
today, US has corrected it, because when Mr. Trump announced it was 26 in Annexure 1. Yesterday it was 27. Today US has corrected it. It's 26 now.
It is 26 now. So our annexure over here is not yet updated.
No, it's not a big. You go to the website today, you will get that.
Okay. Thank you, Ajay.
Thank you.
Ms. Sujata, please unmute yourself. Ms. Sujata, you are unmuted, but we can't hear you yet. Mr. Sankar, please unmute yourself. Mr. Sankar? Mr. Sankar? Mr. Vikram, please unmute yourself. Mr. Vikram? Mr. Sudhanshu, please unmute yourself.
Sir, is the tariff rate only applicable in the India and USA only?
Yeah, this is between India and US only. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Dilip, please unmute yourself.
Sir, as you said that once BTA is in place, this reciprocal duty might go off. So will that also impact the derivative duty, that 25% which is applicable, or only reciprocal duties?
May go on the derivative duty also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Ratnesh, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sir, can you please share the Annexure 2 copy of the Annexure 2?
We will share it. Just wait. We are issuing a circular to members. We'll share that copy also with that. You will get by the late evening today.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
TTP Technologies, please unmute yourself.
Sir, can you share that Annexure 1 and 2?
Just a minute. Let me share with my team. They will share. Just a minute.
I have already shared it to Mr. Dayanand, sir.
Chan sir has shared it in our chat. So we have also shared it. It is available on the chat. Both annexures, Annexure 1 and 2.
No, the exemption which you are talking about, the bill of lading, for that you go to page 8 of that annexure and see section 3 implementation. Okay. The document, Anwar, you have shared only the annexure, you have shared the complete document?
Sir, I have shared only the annexure, sir.
So share the complete document, US Executive Order. There, let them see in the section 3 implementation. This is there.
I'll do that, sir.
Okay. I'm forwarding, just forward it. If he is having his WhatsApp, just forward it to him. I'm forwarding it to you.
I'll do that, sir.
Please leave your number. Srinath will share.
Mr. Samrat, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, Namaskar, Mr. Sahai. Thanks for your elaborate address on the issue. So I wanted to know, can we have a HSN code wise comparison of the duties being levied on Indian products and the Chinese products?
The point is that there is no need for an HSN because there is a uniform tariff. On India, it is 26, on China, minimum 54, and on some product, 79.
And specifically, if we were to talk about stainless steel and aluminum, does it remain the same on China or does it increase?
No. Aluminum is steel, 25% plus 20%. 34% will not apply on China. But as we are talking, China has retaliated by imposing 34% duty on US also from 10th of April. So US President may again increase the duty on China from 50% to 100% also. So 34% may become 68. Let us see how it is panning to.
So to summarize this, what is the duty on import from China for aluminum and stainless steel currently?
For China, many of product or steel, 25% old duty is continuing, plus 20% was recently imposed in the past, plus 25% now. So it is 25 plus 20 plus 25. On some of the product, it will be just 20 and now 25 more.
So both for aluminum and stainless steel.
That's true.
Okay. And another question, sir, what are the chances of BTA getting signed with China?
What signed by China?
The trade agreement getting signed with China between US and China. Are there any chances of that happening in future?
So anything happen as of now, there is nothing on the card, but Mr. Trump is a businessman, so anything is possible.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sir Ramakrishnan from Philips.
Yeah. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
Fine.
And it was a very detailed presentation and a great insight for us. We are exporter of medical equipment, and I think the 26% would be applicable. My only question is, in case if the build to ship to model, so the taxes will be applied on the third country invoice or the original exporter invoice? My view, it would be third country invoice only, right?
What is the origin of the goods?
Origin India. So India, it is made in India, and we export to US, but the invoicing is routed via third country.
Routed by third country. 26% will apply. 26%.
No, tax rate 26% will be applied with no issues, but only on the consideration of the 26% will be applicable on the third country invoicing value. That's
so
right.
Absolutely, it will be on the assessable value. So it will be on third country invoicing.
Third country invoicing value. That's what I understood. Thank you. Thanks for the clarity, sir. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thanks.
Sir, we still have some queries. Do we have
about 10 minutes more, 4:15, because I have another meeting with the UP government. Take 10 minutes more, please. Let them quickly move.
Okay, sir. Mr. Manas, please unmute yourself.
Sir, I have a query on the rule of origin. So, for example, if I'm importing from China and I'm fulfilling the conditions of the manufacturing definition under the foreign trade policy, so the Indian government is able to give me the certificate of origin. So, is there any conditions from the US government perspective on which, like, with the conditions where it implies that it was originated from India and not China?
No, for the US, if minimum 50% value addition happens in India, they will consider goods of the Indian origin. If 50% value addition is not happening, they will not consider it goods of origin. Indian origin, they will consider it goods of Chinese origin.
So only 50% value addition criteria is there, or change in tariff subheading or heading is also there?
On the non-preferential side, only the value addition criteria is there.
So can you just let me know which specific regulation says this so that it will be easy for us?
You look into the US non-preferential rules of origin regulation.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you so much.
Mr. Girish, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening. Girish from Tata Consultancy. And the query is, if a product contains software and hardware, that means product is inbuilt software. So if software doesn't have any duty, whether whether we should build software separately and physical product on the
Absolutely. Absolutely. That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes
thank
sense.
you.
Thank
So
you.
IT products, there is no duty. Only the hardware, what say 8473 or 84774 or whatever we export, will only bill hardware, and software will be billed separately.
Because if it is inbuilt, then definitely they will be charging the duty even on the software portion. So it makes sense that we bifurcate.
Yeah. So invoice will have software separate line item and hardware separate line item.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, thank you very much for the detailed presentation and most importantly, reverting to the queries of our exporters, because even we have crossed the time, still we have more than 400 people logged in. This clearly shows the importance of this webinar, and this webinar shall remain available over YouTube. So if you have anything, you can always go and watch that video. So special thanks to Dr. Sahai for coming out with this detailed analysis in very quickly, right after the announcement. Thank you to all the participants for joining us even after in a very short time. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.